Deuce waiting very patiently. Terron Armstead in the hot seat right now. Going back to the offensive side of the ball, it's amazing to me the first time you guys don't score a touchdown and win since the late 90s, but it really shows how good this team is.
Yeah, I think we got a lot of ways to win, and I believe that's the beauty of this team. However the game turns out, the adversity, momentum swings, at the end of the day, we just got to get the win.
I talked to Drew about what he's been through the last couple of weeks, but being an offensive lineman and the leader on this offensive line, how has it been having a different quarterback and with all the changes?
Teddy's been great. We know Drew, Hall of Fame, first ballot Hall of Fame, greatest ever. Right. So Teddy's just been coming in and being himself, and it's been plenty. He's the way he prepares, the way he goes about his business, It's been great. It's calm demeanor. You never see him rattled or shaken at all. So we appreciate him.
The running game, Kamara's obviously played well the last couple of weeks. Seems like Latavius Murray's getting more and more involved. What do you see from the running game? It seems like it's really a work in progress, but it's getting better every week.
Running game is a huge part of what we do, and we want to get it going even more. It sets up everything in the pass game. We got to have more success in it. But when we have so many penalties and first and 20, second and 20, it's kind of hard to run the ball. You're trying to throw catch up to the chains. So big emphasis on trying to eliminate that from our game.
We were talking before we went on here about Dallas's defense. I mean, that was a physical game for you tonight, wasn't it?
Most definitely. Heavyweight fight out there.
Yeah. Moving forward, though, this football team, the fact that Bridgewater's going to get more comfortable, you've been around here a long time. It just seems like this Saints team is one of the most complete I've seen. We saw it in Seattle last week. We saw it again tonight. I mean, everybody's contributing. You're really strong all around. How would you compare this team in terms of being a complete team since you've been here?
I feel like we got a really extremely talented team, for sure, and a bunch of tough guys, some fighters. And that combination is great. We just got to make those improvements. We're in a race to get better, and I think that the fact that we have so many things to get better in is exciting.
You lost Max Unger. Obviously, you have McCoy this season. How has it been different with him, and how would you grade the offensive line so far this season?
I think McCoy's been doing really well. Some small things that he's improving on, but we all are. And I think the more reps and the game time he have is only going to get better. I won't grade the offensive line by letter.
Oh, I won't even. Yeah, I just meant in general terms. Yeah.
I think we've been good, but we have to get where we want to be. Be the best offensive line in this league. We have to improve, and eliminating the penalties would be the first thing.
Okay, I may have you hand off here. Is Deuce McAllister here? We're gonna bring. Okay, Sheldon Rankins. Sheldon, you want to come on in? You ready to come on in? We're going to have a bunch of interviews here in a row. I really appreciate your time. Good luck against the Bucs next week. I know it's a physical game, and
sure.
Rest up, and we'll see you next week.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, Terron Armstead. We're going to bring in Sheldon Rankins. Handing off here. We try not to keep you waiting here on the CST postgame show.
I appreciate it.
Well, a lot of people weren't sure, Sheldon Rankins, if you'd be back this week, if you'd be back this early. Have you surprised even yourself?
If you had asked me that probably a month into rehab, probably I would say there's no way I'll be back that soon. But once everything started unfolding, I haven't surprised myself at all. I think once I got activated, in the preseason, this was always my target goal. This was always my wish to be back week 4. Just kind of use those first 3 weeks of the season to kind of just build up work capacity and build up the stamina. I was able to do it, able to come out here and help this team get a win.
I know it's been a long road, and the timing last season, you're having your best season as a pro, and I know that was tough leaving when you did. How hard have the last 6-7 months been for you?
It's been tough. I think when you have a year like I was having, you want to ride that momentum. You want to obviously wish I could have continued to play out through the playoffs and try to help this team get to Super Bowl and win a Super Bowl. And then you want to go into that offseason and kind of really just continue to work off of everything you've done that year. So for me to kind of have it come to a screeching halt, basically, was tough. But I've been through enough adversity in my life to understand that things happen for a reason. And I've bounced back from enough things to understand that there's nothing but a bump in the road, and I'll be back to shimmying and doing everything that I was able to do last year in no time. It's just going to be a matter of getting these live reps, getting out there playing feeling my way through a lot of the rust, just from not playing real football. And I'll be back to myself in no time.
To meet your goal and getting back when you wanted to, and to do it against a team that has a great running game, and we had Cam Jordan out here a few minutes ago, and he was talking about the goal is to stop Zeke Elliott, and you guys did for the most part. I mean, how satisfying is it that A, you met your goal, B, you get the win, and C, you stop the runner?
That's big. I think when you play a team like this team, the way they've been rolling offensively, Dak's been throwing the ball all over the place. Guys have been wide open, and Zeke has been, having his way with just about every team they've played. When you go hold a team like that to 45 yards rushing, I think it was 1.9 yards a carry or something like that. When you go hold a team like that, when you can make them one-dimensional and kind of throw Dak some different looks that maybe he hasn't seen as much of, you got him playing right in your hands. So I think DA drew up a great game plan, and we were able to come out and execute to a T. Obviously there's going to be things we can clean up here and there, but that's football. Nothing's going to be perfect. But overall, we were able to execute everything really well. And, going into next week, we've set the standard. This is what we expect from ourselves week in, week out. Nobody's going to run the ball, disguise with coverage and get great pressure on quarterbacks and hold teams to a low number scoring. And then that's a recipe for success. You've
been around here a little while. You've seen the defenses struggle. You've seen the defenses play very well. I think the one thing that it really impresses me about this defense, so many guys are contributing. It's almost like play after play, there's a different guy that steps up, and that has to be great for you guys.
No doubt. I think it's big when you got a defense full of guys who can literally call their number at any point and go make a play.
Right.
I think, obviously, Cam's, our leader, and he's great in his own right, and you got guys Marshawn, DeMario, those guys, but guys who aren't talked about as much. David comes up with a huge sack for us, late in that game, and then AJ Klein forcing that huge fumble, us coming up with that recovery. So listen, guys who aren't talked about as much literally make great plays for this defense week in, week out. And even though they don't get the credit they deserve, they literally come in here week in, week out. Don't complain about it, don't moan about it, and just continue to work and continue to help this defense be exactly where you want to be.
Final question: how you feeling right now?
I feel good.
Yeah.
Honestly, I probably thought I was gonna feel like I couldn't walk.
Yeah.
I thought I was gonna feel like I was gonna need to be carried to my car. But man, I feel good. I'll probably be a little sore in the morning, but I'd be sore in the morning whether I had Achilles tear or not. That's just football. So I feel good. Just gonna continue to build on this. Like I said, just shaking off the rust, but I'm gonna continue to grow and get back to who I know I could be.
Well, I'm glad you're feeling better. Congratulations on meeting your timetable. Congratulations on the win.
Well,
this guy always one of the best interviews after every game, kind of like Deuce McAllister, who's been very patient. So I'm going to have you hand off to Deuce McAllister. But you're always good to us. I really appreciate your time.
I appreciate that.
All right, Sheldon Rankins, guys, coming back on the timetable he's set. See you next week. From one great interview to another, we bring in the very patient Deuce McAllister, who took one for the team. You had to you buy some time there, didn't you?
They had to work a little bit. For me, it was a lot easier to kind of go through and do what they did. I just had to watch it.
Right. You're patient. Thanks for waiting.
Not a problem at all.
Let's talk about this game. It's rare to see a Sean Payton team win without scoring a touchdown, but it really shows all the depths of this team in a lot of ways.
It shows the depth, but it shows also, even though you're 3-1, you still have some work to do. And I think that's the one thing, whether you're talking about from a defensive standpoint or an offensive standpoint, they know that they can play better. And so just continue to get better. That's what you want to do as a unit. I think overall, you go back and you look at it, there are a couple plays, you're close from blowing this thing open, whether it's the throw that Bridgewater had with Josh Hill right there. He kind of bobbles it, catches it twice. Then they don't execute another time down there right in the red zone. Had an opportunity. You're close.
Right.
So you just have to clean some things up. But I thought, they did what they had to do to be able to come away with a W.
How would you assess Teddy Bridgewater? It seems like he's always steady, but I know he was close to making some plays. But how would you assess his play in this game?
Just needs to continue to see some looks. He needs to continue to get those reps, and I think just up and down. He didn't have anything that hurt you.
Right.
In the end, your defense was able to get you where you needed to go. But if he knows it. He even said it that last play. You got to throw that ball away. Your first read in there. Don't try to create. Don't make the hero play. Throw it away. Kick the 48-yard field goal. I mean, when you end up losing 18, now your defense has to come out and save you. I thought a couple times he did a good job of getting off of his first read, getting to his second. Another thing that I really want him to be in situations where on first down, I know it was at least 4 drives where they're not first and 20. That was just because of the little things are hurting them from being able to accumulate offensive plays. I mean, you would love to see Murray get a little bit more involved as far as running the ball. I think Alvin had right at 20 touches again. So it's something that you have to watch, but you're 3-1.
I thought he did a good job of using a lot of different guys in this offense on certain drives, too.
Well, he used a lot. I mean, even Deontay Harris, he talked about getting him involved on the offense. He had kind of the reverse play. They were able to distribute the ball to a lot of different guys. We saw Jared Cook get involved a little bit. Teddy Bridgewater, Ted Ginn Jr. had a couple catches as well. So they were able to spread the ball around. But I'm telling you, man, they're about still at least 100 yards of offensive production on that field if they don't hurt themselves, with the penalties.
I always got to ask you about the running backs because Kamara, we saw some vintage Kamara runs in this game, but Latavius Murray seemed a little more involved in this game than he was last week.
Well, he's definitely involved, and I think for he is just continue to be involved in that manner. I think, being able to run the ball definitely helps because that defense, they wore him down. They end up making some stops there, but I thought that they wore that defense down, and so the time of possessions, the body blows, as you call them, you could see that they were taking effect.
You mentioned the close calls that Bridgewater had, but the fact that this football team has won 2 games without Drew Brees and beaten a tough place to play at Seattle and beaten a team that came in here undefeated, a Dallas team that's going to make some noise this year. What does that do for this team?
Well, it gives them the confidence, and I don't think that Sean is going to ease up on him any. He knows that he has a talented team. You just have to correct some of those small mistakes and say, hey, look, defense, if you're going to have to carry us, then you can carry us. For Drew, he's itching. He's itching to get back in, and Teddy, he's doing what he needs to do, but even he knows he can expand on what's going on and what he can control out on the field.
Last question I have, and this will be a question we probably talk about in the next couple of weeks, but the more they keep winning games like this, do you think that would push Drew Brees to maybe resting the bye week instead of coming back the week before? Are we too far away from that right now?
You're too far away, but it's going to take something, to hold Drew Brees back. I mean, he's out there doing his alphabets. He does the alphabets on the sideline. Yeah. He's doing the alphabets, exercising the thumb, and so I don't know what his rehab protocol is. Right. But trust me, if he's not over the limit and doing the rehab, he's going to be very close.
And he wants to come back. He mentioned the bye week is huge, but it's going to be interesting to see how this team plays and how that will determine when number 9 will come back. Well, listen, thanks for your patience tonight. Always enjoy talking to you after the games, and I appreciate your time.
No problem. Thank you.
Deuce McAllister. One other stat, guys, the Color Rush uniforms, they played 7 games in them. They lost the first 2, but they've won 5 in a row with the Color Rush. I say we keep it going. I don't know if you guys are still awake in the studio, but I'm going to throw it back to you.